It's about faith to believe. It's about hope to receive. It's about love to give life. It's about transplant life with me, Miss Vinnie. Hey everyone, it's Miss Vinnie. Meet my friend TERRI Long, a loving mother whose life is defined by devotion to family and service to others. TERRI's journey has been marked by courage and resilience. As a liver transplant recipient and Crohn's disease patient, she has faced challenges with unwavering faith and hope. Her experience inspired a lifelong mission, advocating for organ donation and supporting those waiting for the gift of life. TERRI and I volunteered together as One Legacy ambassadors, sharing our stories to educate and inspire countless families. Today, she continues to make a powerful impact as a board member for the Liver Health Foundation, helping guide programs and promote wellness. And we are going to talk about it. Hey everyone, welcome to About Transplant Life TV from Pasadena Media Studios. I am your host, Miss Vinnie. 10 years ago, I became a grateful heart transplant recipient with the miraculous story to share with you about the power of love. When someone is in need of a life-saving organ transplant, love rushes in to rescue them. The kind of love that it takes to be a prayerful caregiver, a dedicated medical professional, or to become a registered organ donor. These are the passionate stories that we share on About Transplant Life. Today, my very special guest is also a dear friend of mine who literally walked into my hospital room over 10 years ago to encourage me while I was waiting to receive my life-saving heart transplant. And from that very moment, we have been more than just friends. We are sisters on a mission, and we are going to talk about it. So please give a warm welcome to my dearest friend, Miss TERRI Long.
Thank you.
Welcome to About Transplant Life. I'm excited to have you here. The moment that I met you, when you walked into my hospital room with our friend Tim, right?
Yes.
I knew it was a divine connection. I could just feel that God was bringing some pieces together in my life, because I was just laying there just trying to just wrap my head around the fact that I could not go home until I received a gift of life, a second chance. I was waiting in ICU, and I waited there for like 7 months. And then this cute little chocolate lady walked into my room with Tim, and you were just all smiling and laughing, and you encouraged me. And, everybody who's waiting for a life-saving organ transplant, they need, someone to encourage them. They need support. And that's what you did for me, TERRI. And so I officially want to thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome.
For just being there, just seeing you.
It was so nice.
Yeah.
It was so nice. Like, I had no idea who I was going to meet. My friend just said, hey, let's go see a friend of a friend. Let's go to CAC. I said, sure, I'll ride with you. And then here we come, walking in your, hospital room. And I remember I bought a bracelet from you.
Because I was selling jewelry.
I have this great picture of us.
I had bills to pay.
Yes,
so really. I was in there taking MasterCard, Visa, American Express. Don't play with me. I still had bills to pay. Them Williams was still calling, right?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And I didn't have that when I had transplant. No one came to encourage me or tell me how things were going to go because it just happened so fast.
Wow.
So I didn't have that. So I wanted to give that to people because I didn't receive it. So it made me even more hungry to do so. So I'm glad I met you.
I like that. And I'm glad that, we connected as well. Like I said, it was a divine encounter for real.
Yes, it was.
So you mentioned that you did not have the support that, you give to others during your transplant journey. Let's talk about that. When did it all begin for you?
Okay, so it all began for me. One day I was at work, and I worked in Skid Row. And it's a very challenging job. Sometimes I would leave there really exhausted. I mean, it's just hard. But I loved my job. So one Friday, I just was feeling uneasy. And I pretty much know my body. So I said, something is wrong. I'm not sure what it is. So I went to the doctor that night and they gave me fluid and they sent me home. They told me to see my doctor the next day. I did that, gave me fluid, sent me home.
They didn't know what was going on.
Had no idea. And unfortunately, I've been given a diagnosis of Crohn's disease, so I thought I was having the beginning of a flare.
Oh, so the Crohn's disease diagnosis came before
Yes.
the liver transplant.
Yeah, the Crohn's disease diagnosis came in 2006. For 10 years, I was misdiagnosed. So 1996 is when I started having the symptoms of Crohn's. Now they've discovered that I've had it since I was a kid.
And so for people who are unfamiliar with Crohn's disease, give us a brief description of what that is.
Crohn's is one of the many inflammatory bowel diseases that you can get. Mine happened to be throughout my large colon and my small colon. The original symptoms, leading back to when I was a kid, I would get canker sores in my mouth. Because Crohn's is from what they say is from the rooter to the tutor.
Yeah,
it goes
could go
throughout.
From your mouth all the way through your system.
Exactly.
Right?
So back then, though, my parents had no idea. I mean, what was happening. I would just rinse my mouth with warm salt and water, and they would go away.
Was it painful?
Very painful.
Oh.
And the doctors had no idea what it was. So going into 1996, I was diagnosed with what they call irritable bowel syndrome, which they diagnose people with that immediately. So you as a patient, you have to be an advocate for yourself to get more testing. And at the time, I didn't do that. So for 10 years, I was misdiagnosed. I went without treatment. That's a long
time.
I went without treatment for 10 years.
And you just suffered in silence?
Suffered in silence. At a point where I think my son was like 5 years old, and I couldn't hold it. I couldn't go anyplace without knowing where the restrooms were. Like, it's really true on the commercials. Like, you really have to know what's around you because you never know.
It's still emotional for you when you
Oh,
talk
it's so
about it.
difficult. You know, it's difficult. I make it easy, but it's hard.
Yeah,
it's hard.
Yeah. But the Lord is with you, Terry.
All
you
the
know,
time.
All the time.
All the time.
All the time. And you certainly don't look like what you've been through and what you're describing.
Yeah, all the
Yeah.
time. So, you know, that day,
Can we get some tissue for her?
I went ahead, I went to the doctor, I did all that. Then that Saturday, I wasn't getting any better, so I wasn't satisfied. And I said, I'm going back. But what I did before I went back was I called CAC and they triaged me over the phone. And they said, go to your nearest hospital. So at the time, Olympia is right by me, but I knew I wasn't going
Girl,
there.
we ain't dropping no names, but if you in a crisis, you want to pass right on by that hospital, baby.
I got to see her so fast.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. And so my original diagnosis in emergency, after they did numerous tests, was I had an angry gallbladder. My liver enzymes were elevated. I knew nothing about elevated liver enzymes. So, and then I had a mass on my kidney. So immediately I'm thinking the big C, you know, mass on my kidney. Oh my heavens. So I go into—
How old were you, Terry?
I was 45.
Okay.
I was 45. My son was 19. And that very next Tuesday, they came into my room and said, you need a liver transplant.
Girl.
Oh my gosh.
Had you ever heard anything about transplant?
Never.
See.
Wait, let me take that back. My mom had a best friend she worked with, and her son was born with some kind of kidney disease. So he had a transplant when he was just like a year old. First time, only time. You know, I have my dot on my license since I was 16. I was willing to be a donor, but I had no idea that I was going to be on the other side of that.
Get that from Tony. It's okay. You can bring it to
Thank
her.
you. I had no idea that I was going to be on the other side of that red dot, right? So this is a Tuesday. So within 24 hours, One funny thing is that my dad was here visiting. We had just had a family reunion, and I put my dad on the plane to leave. And I was texting him, and I was telling him how I was feeling, and everything was fine. Dad, you don't need to come back down here. The next day, people couldn't understand my text. They were like, what is she saying?
Oh,
And
wow.
so
That's when
my niece took
and all
over
that.
my phone.
Wow.
Because I don't know what I was texting, actually. So by this time, the toxins were going to my brain quickly. To the
Because
point,
you were in liver failure at that point, right?
I remember asking, can I get a regenerated liver? I knew that much. And they said, absolutely not. Mine was gone. I even saw a picture of it. It was awful. Just in a very short time.
And it happened so quickly, right?
So fast. If it was happening prior, the labs that I would take would show that, and nothing showed that. So doctors kept trying to figure out what it was. They ruled out autoimmune hepatitis. They ruled out everything that they could think of. They had no idea why this was happening. I was also, because of my Crohn's, I was taking medication. And the medication was designed to help me put my Crohn's in remission.
Whose Crohn's?
The Crohn's.
Not yours,
Not
right?
mine.
Because we don't want that.
I'm giving it away. Okay?
That's right.
I
It
wish
doesn't
I
belong
could.
to us.
It doesn't
You
belong
knew
to
I was
me.
going to say
Yes,
that, right?
I know. So I had to go get the medicine every week, and you got to check your labs, and they have to look at them first before they administer the medication. Always good. Always great.
Wow.
And the funny thing is, a lot of the doctors prior to me getting the medicine didn't want to give me the medicine. That should have been a wake-up call. They didn't want to give me this particular medicine.
Why? Because they thought it would be too strong for
I
you or
think
something?
so. And what happened, I ended up going into the hospital for a procedure. One day I went to have a procedure, and it's called a hemorrhoidectomy. When I went in, and they went in to get the hemorrhoid, there was a giant ulcer.
Oh, wow.
That they found. So
that had to be painful, baby.
Let me tell you, I didn't even know it was there.
Oh.
So all this time I thought it was just the hemorrhoid. But now looking back, they give you kind of a exam. And when they gave me that exam, it hurt so bad. But I still didn't know that there was something else there. So when they do the procedure, the doctor tells my GI doctor she needs treatment immediately. That's when they gave me the medication. Started giving me the medication. I was taking the medication for 8 months. And like I said, they test your...
The medication.
I was taking it for 8 months, and it was putting me in remission. I mean, I was feeling good. I was feeling better. I wasn't having as many symptoms. It was working great. I was like, oh my gosh, this is good. Haven't felt this way in a long time. So then I get the feelings that I'm getting, the sicknesses that I'm feeling, and I go to Cedars, and I find out I need the transplant.
Wow.
And it was devastating in the sense that I'm pretty much a researcher. Like I don't get on the internet a lot, but I like to know what's going on with me. So I didn't have time to do that. I had no idea what transplant was. I thought I was going to be disabled. I wasn't going to be able to walk. There were so many things going through my head because when you don't know something.
That's right.
The fear is real.
That's right. Because like the scripture says, we perish for lack of knowledge. And you really have to be your own advocate.
Absolutely.
For your health care. You have to know when a diagnosis is spoken over you that comes to steal your healing from you. You have to know how to go to war with the word of God.
You have to.
And you have to know how to speak against that thing.
Yes.
But when you're going through it, the fear can be so overwhelming.
Yes.
And that's why it's so important to have support.
Oh,
to have somebody in your corner.
Oh my, yes.
That's not afraid, that knows the word of God and can speak the word of God over your life and encourage you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, once once they brought me to my room and told me I needed the transplant, all I remember is all these papers we had to fill out. They had to fill out a lot of stuff so I could be put on the list. You don't just get on the list.
No.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And in my mind, I can't fill this out because I'm starting to have the hepatic, encephalopathy. I can't fill anything out. So I had my cousin who knows me well since I was a baby. She filled everything out. And I was going down, like really quickly. So when you have liver disease, you're given a MELD score. So you know where you are, and so it goes from a 6 to a 40. So at the time that they tested me, I was a 26. I really could have gone home. I would have just had to come back for blood tests and probably draining of fluid in my stomach, but we weren't sure that it was going to be a transplant, and I was going to be put on the list. So I didn't know how far I was going to be on the list. So in 24 hours, I went to a 40, which is the top of the list. And then within the next less than 24 hours, I went to status 1. So when you're at status 1, they're saying there's nothing else we can do. The only thing that's going to keep you alive is this transplant.
So let me ask you a question. You are a mother. You have a wonderful son named Donovan. How difficult was it for Donovan?
Well,
do you remember?
I do, because you know what? I had spent many times in the hospital previously because I had to get several blood transfusions. And I would kind of go in sometimes for my Crohn's. So he was aware of that, like he was with me all the time. He thought that this was the same kind of situation. And my mom had to take him and hug him and tell him she might not make it. It was hard. It was hard.
Yeah.
And a lot of things that I know now, I didn't know because someone had to tell me.
Yeah.
And the transplant, what happened was, I've been told that they couldn't find a donor. So on that Sunday, I had been on ventilator support, I think at this point, 3 or 4 days. So I think my parents were gonna take me off of the machine.
Really?
And that Sunday, my cousin was sitting with me, the one I speak about so much. She was sitting with me. My mom called on her way to church and said, hey, any luck? And she said no. So my mom went on to church. She said she proceeded to go to church, and as she gets out of her car, the pastor, he's meeting her. They're walking and they're meeting. And she gets the call, and they said, we found a donor.
Praise God.
And so that Sunday, they went to Vegas. This is where the liver was. So the helicopter had to go to Vegas and pick up the organs and bring them back. And I know they have a moment of silence, and then they go to work on that organ.
Yeah.
So that night, I had surgery. It was about 6 or 7 hours, maybe longer. My cousin, she was in the elevator when they were taking me to the surgery area, and she said, we have to pray. So anesthesiologist, the techs, everybody in that elevator had to pray.
See?
They had to pray. She was like, everybody, bow your heads.
That's right.
Let's go, because this is,
right.
We
got to put some angels to work.
Yes.
And they worked really, really hard.
Yes.
And that surgery was obviously a success.
It was successful. And let me tell you, when I got out of the surgery, I probably stayed asleep a couple of days. And then they start saying, wake her up, wake her up. And when I woke up to the sound of a nurse who was humming. And when you're in ICU or anywhere, you don't know where you are. I didn't know where I was, so you get kind of agitated a little, right?
I remember.
And she is making these noises and slamming the cabinets and stuff, and I'm like, what's happening here? Where am I? But then my dad walks in, and he's standing over me when I wake up. And I'm like, I put you on an airplane. Like, how did you get here? You know?
Yeah.
And my dad lives in Louisiana. And he missed the surgery because he missed his plane, but he got here. And when I wake up and he's standing over me, all I can remember through everything was to ask him. I couldn't talk, so on a piece of paper, I wrote, did I get the liver? Because I could still write, I could still, because I got sick so quick, I didn't lose those mobilities. And he said, yes. And then I was asking him some other questions. It seems like it was taking him a year to get back and walk back. But I woke up after that. I was in ICU, I think, for a day. I wouldn't take the pain medicine. I just wouldn't.
Okay, I'm not going to ask you why.
No, I'm going to tell you because, okay, I worked in Skid Row.
Yeah.
So I saw people like myself.
And you didn't want to get addicted.
And I did
yeah,
not.
I get it.
You know, I
because
did
it's
not.
so easy. I'll be transparent.
Yes.
I was addicted to codeine.
Yes.
Post-transplant when I had my heart transplant 10
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah.
And, you know, they give it to you like candy in the hospital.
Sure do.
But when you go home, you know, they say take Tylenol and have a nice day.
Yeah.
And it's a huge
It's
difference.
a huge difference.
You know, and your body has to really adjust.
Oh, my.
So for like a couple of weeks, I'm telling you, I was feeling out. I just got to keep it real. I really
know.
was.
It's true.
And so I understand why, you know, any narcotic is like that.
Yes, and I have a personal issue also. I have an older sister who has been an addict since she was 19. So because I had watched her, I just said I can't do it. To the point that the surgeon came down to see me. I never forget this, and he said, you have to take it, Miss TERRI. You have to. I promise you won't get addicted. You know, but him making that promise to me wasn't really good enough.
I don't know. I
because
know,
you
know
can't really
yourself.
tell me
You know
what's
yourself.
going to happen, and I have my reasons for this, right?
So let's talk about this. You went through all of that, and the Lord brought you through
Yes.
hurdle after hurdle after hurdle.
Yes.
And there's still been some challenges along the way.
Yes.
Right? But even through all of that, you take the time to be a fierce advocate for liver health awareness. And you are a board of directors member, right, for the Liver Health
for the
Foundation.
Liver Foundation.
And you have participated in many of their events. Let's talk about that briefly.
Okay, actually, after I had the transplant, I was also a transplant ambassador for Cedars. So I was able to go around, talk to, you know, the patients that were waiting or who had returned, and that was nice.
And we were One Legacy ambassadors together.
Yes, and then One Legacy, I think I probably did at least 100 events, if not more. I used to really like the hospitals, going into the hospital. I did a lot of that.
Yeah, me too.
I'm also an advocate, period. Wherever I go, I'm an advocate. If I'm sitting next to you on the airplane, I'm gonna talk to you about this transplant. I'm gonna find a way. And you know, honestly, on 2 occasions, I was sitting next to someone, he happened to be a donor. You never know who you're talking to.
You never know who you're talking to.
You know, and with One Legacy, I was able to educate myself too, because there were so many things I didn't know. So going through that process helped tremendously. What also helped me was support group. Cedars had a support group for all transplants. And I think I went to that transplant group every week for 7 years. And that helped because you know what? I had survivor's remorse.
That's a whole nother conversation.
I had it really bad.
Wow.
I struggled with it. I really did.
So let's talk about an upcoming event that you got going on, that you participate all the time with the Liver Health Foundation, and that's their Walk for Life that's coming up. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Well, let me tell you, I'm ready. I'm always ready, but I work well under pressure.
Oh, okay.
You know, so I wait till the last minute, but I know who's going to be on my team.
Okay, so you have teams. Tell us what happens.
You have team. Okay, so my team is Delivering Hope. I created this team, 14 years ago.
Really?
So Delivering Hope, I chose that because I could emphasize liver.
Yeah,
and
I get
then
it.
hope, and then I have a ladybug, which resembles resilience, strength, and I put that all on my shirt. And so I recruit people every year, but that's how we started, because my transplant is now 15 years old. I'm in my 15th year this year.
15
years.
Congratulations.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. And
That's a milestone. It really
Yeah.
is.
I got 15 more to go,
That
if not more.
Thank you.
Yes.
It ain't over till it's
It ain't
over. Don't
over.
put no limit on it.
No, it's not. It's
no,
not
we're not going
over.
to do that. So tell us about the Walk for Life. When
So
is
the
it?
Walk for Life is September 20th on a Saturday, Santa Monica. It's a great walk. It's a great opportunity to meet with vendors. They have vendors there. And it's a great opportunity to meet people like myself.
Yeah.
You know?
That's so important.
Right. And even though, like, I met Aaron, one of many transplant recipients, just from this walk. And I'll go up and talk to anybody. If I see someone new, I want to welcome them. And it's exciting. And I get adrenaline rushes from the walk. And I really work hard. And people probably hate to see me coming because I'm coming for money. You know what I mean?
They don't hate to see you coming.
And so I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to do whatever I can to give back.
Because you've been given so much. And I just
Yes.
believe that, like myself, God gave us a second chance at life so that we can have the opportunity to not only glorify Him, but to help others along their transplant journey as well. And that's exactly why, you are here and you are doing an excellent job.
Thank you.
And I am so proud of you.
Thank you so much.
Even on days when I know you're not feeling good,
Yes.
you still keep going.
Yeah.
And I just pray
do.
that God gives you the strength, to continue to do the great work that you're doing.
Yes.
Not only with Liver Health Foundation, but in your own personal ministry. It's a ministry, isn't it?
It is.
It
It
is.
is. It
Yeah.
is.
So thank you so much, TERRI,
Thank
for
you,
being
Vinnie.
here.
I
appreciate you so much.
you.
So we mentioned the Liver Health Foundation, and for more information about all of their activities, please visit their website at liverhealthfoundations.org. Thank you so much for watching, and I want you to follow up with me. Visit our website, abouttransplantlife.com, for more information on our programs. And make sure you follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. May God bless you and keep you is our prayer. Peace.